Today we're having a conversation with Mike Iosia and about his funding that he received from Title III grant and the kind of technology that he received and how he's using it. First, could you tell me specifically what you purchased with the funding that you requested?
With the funding, I purchased a 54-inch LCD plasma screen, similar to yours, that you bought with Title III funding. Let's see, with the Title III funding, Dr. Veenstra and myself also, we purchased a projector that is going to be used in our human physiology lab in Education 101.
Okay. When you applied for this, what was your primary purpose of using the projector? Was there one specific purpose or just for general?
At this particular time, there's one specific purpose. Within the human physiology lab, which is being created, we have approximately $40,000 worth of their technology, which is known as our iWorks equipment, which are human physiology labs. The purchase of the projector is going to be able to allow us to provide one focal point as a launching pad for students to identify where to go and what they need to do as far as commands with each specific lab. And so what this does is the projector allows for us to get the class to manage the class much better. Also, it helps them to be able to follow step by step and then to be able to copy those steps themselves.
When you speak of the step by step, is this something that you present to the class and show on the screen?
Yes, there is a software that goes along with the iWorks system, and it on the screen will show the particular setup for the lab, and then being able to take them kind of click by click, because there are several steps it takes to be able to get the labs up and running, and also to make sure that the 214, which is our bioamplifier, is reading properly.
It's 214. Your what?
It's a bioamplifier.
Okay. So, and what does it do for the students?
It allows them to be able to do several. It has is very versatile. We can be able to collect data such as, example, ECGs that the students can collect right there, and also can take turns by collecting data on their lab partner. We also have an EMG that it can collect spirometry, as well as when we look at cardiovascular performance and looking at mixed gases, the resting energy expenditure, it helps us with that as well. So all of these numbers are flashing up on the screen, and by having the projector, it helps us to be able to make sure the students are on the same page, but also their values should be in the same neighborhood.
So do you see this as a tool that is used for active learning?
Oh yes, absolutely, because the projector is actually connected to one of the 6 units that we have. So the students will be, who are using the particular setup with the monitor, as they collect data, it will be seen by the rest of the class.
For our audience, would you explain what a unit is?
Yes, a unit is the iWorks equipment comes with a 214. It's a specific bioamplifier. So it's going to pick up any type of impulse, electrical impulse that the body may give off, and then the amplifier, obviously, it will amplify the signal. So it comes off as usually as a number, as a data point, or as a line, and it gives us an ability to be able to manipulate that to give us certain values, such as beats per minute, volumes, liters per minute, when we're doing that particular unit. So each one of the units is designated with a particular chapter that we're covering in anatomy and physiology.
Okay. So is it at this time restricted to the anatomy and physiology course?
At this no, actually it's not. We also use it for our exercise physiology class. That's a larger class, and because of the sheer numbers, we don't have enough units to go around.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll use the one main unit, and we'll be able to collect our data on that while the other students can watch. So for example, when I'm thinking about a cardiovascular exercise lab, a student will have a mask as well that will collect expired gases and it will run into an oxygen analyzer, and also the bioamplifier will also pick up the heart rate, pulse pressure changes as they begin to exercise. Now, obviously, only having one of those setups, the projector provides a great opportunity to be able to demonstrate in real time when there is a what we call crossover effect in exercise, when an individual will move from using specifically fats into carbohydrates.
Very good. This sounds like it's very engaging for the students.
I think that anytime you can help them to see a particular teaching point versus just not pointing on a slide or reading about it, but as they can actually see someone, because you can see someone on a bicycle who begins to breathe harder, and then it's also represented up on the screen using the projector. You see that by an increase in the number of waves, also heart rate as well, is that you'll also see ticks on the screen that also represent heart rate, and all those factors change. So you can talk about it, but it's really fantastic for them to be able to see it.
See it. It makes it more relevant in the sense of speaking. Was your proposal partially or completely filled?
Completely.
Approximately how many students do you see this affecting, say, in a given semester?
In a given semester, we will have approximately, there's 32 right now in the anatomy and physiology course. I have another 29 that are in the exercise physiology course. We currently have 4 labs that we're using it for, 3 for anatomy and physiology and 1 for the exercise physiology class. And as we have used the equipment more and more, there are many other applications that we can use it to. So this is really scratching the surface.
You've just answered my next question, and that is, where, or began to at least, where do you see it going from this point? Because it sounds like you've got about 60 plus students that it's affecting at this point, and you foresee it expanding. Do you intend on applying for more funding for units or anything of that sort that would assist you?
Yes, as our room allows, we would love to be able to apply for more Title III grant money for the iWorks equipment for the 214 units specifically, as well as doing exercise and resting. There is a separate unit that's needed to analyze gas, and we have one of those. It would be beneficial to be able to have 2 of those gas analyzers, so that's something else that we'll be able to use. That way we have multiple units able to perform multiple labs at the same time, which may be a little different. One might be resting while another group might be doing exercise, and then we can always switch because the lab has to be set up in a specific way for each one. So purchasing extra units would be a great benefit to also to further make the group work smaller.
Very good. And you said that some of your colleagues are using this as well, Dr. Veenstra?
Yes, and Dr. Wickham, we've talked about using, there's a specific lab for measuring muscle contraction and specifically twitch. And you can do one particular lab that will look at isometric contraction, and you'll be able to, the unit will pick up the contraction of the muscle based upon the electrical impulse that's sent to it, and you can watch an individual fatigue as well. And there's ways to be able to look at different muscles, how one is activated and the other one relaxes. For example, in extending the leg, we could put electrodes on the quadriceps and also on the hamstrings and be able to look at the differences while one is contracting and one is relaxing. So within the kinesiology class. And then also within our exercise test and prescription class, lung volumes is really important, especially when you're trying to estimate the healthy lung volumes or individuals who may have an issue with asthma. That's something that our graduates might be able to see if they go into the respiratory care area, and being able to show them that as well.
Compared to previous to having the projector till after, have you seen any evidence of a enhancement in learning for the students, either anecdotal or otherwise?
I think it's more
or feedback even.
from a class management standpoint, it has made things better because last semester we had done it without the projector. Now when you have the projector, you have the focal point to say, go here, start this lab. Once you start this lab, you collect the data, then you have to go to a different screen to analyze it. That has really helped out with the classroom management tremendously. And so now it gives us the opportunity to be able to go and help pinpoint instead of going from station to station, to be able to say, okay, point this, click this, do this. Now once everyone gets the instructions, now we're more troubleshooting, but also we're able to find a lot of different teachable moments as they begin to collect the data.
So everybody's kind of on the, you can assure more likely that people are on the same page.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time today.